Volunteers in the life of an engineering college in particular and a university in general are essential. They're a tremendous resource of wisdom for all of us. I cannot imagine trying to build a high-quality program without the input of volunteers.
We are very fortunate to have very successful alumni who are very invested in the program and who are engaged at various levels.
We like to consider them in three different buckets. It would be the time, the talent, and the treasure. And if we're able to have an alum that wants to give back in all three ways, it's kind of the epitome of what we would consider a great Gator volunteer.
If you created a prototype for the ideal volunteer, it would be Carlos Del Sol. Obviously very successful, very smart, very accomplished, but also one of the kindest, most giving individuals that you will ever meet.
He gave his thoughts, he gave his wisdom, he gave his kindness and his compassion. He truly was what you would close your eyes and think about as the true quintessential Gator.
Carlos was a friend of the department, so we knew that we could rely on him whenever we needed him. That is a luxury. And we always knew the answer was going to be yes.
We asked him to do many, many things, and he never told us no, and he always did an amazing job. I can't think of a single time when I asked him for advice that I didn't benefit from that. He was just an incredible mentor to me personally. He's one in a million.
The opportunities that have been presented to me have allowed me to be very successful. This country is the greatest country in the world, and I'm very thankful to be living here.
He was very proud of his heritage and where he came from, and truly felt like he came to the United States to be able to have an impact.
He immigrated from Cuba, and he's got a tremendously compelling life history even before he came to the University of Florida. But what he did with his Florida degree was equally amazing. He eventually rose to become Vice President of Global Engineering for Campbell's. You see these unicorns of people who were not only great technically, but had high emotional intelligence, good communication skills, high degree of integrity, ethical behavior. And so that becomes kind of the role model that you're trying to replicate across the entire program.
He was very, very passionate about providing for underrepresented communities and making sure that the opportunities that he had were ones that he would be able to pass on to future generations.
He never forgot what it was like to feel like you're alone in the world, or maybe your future's not guaranteed. And he was very sympathetic to other people who were going through that themselves. And I think he just wanted to give back.
I would not have been able to be successful in both my personal and my professional life without my experience as a student at the University of Florida and the doors that my industrial engineering degree opened for me.
He was really appreciative of the experience he had at UF. And he talked about the need of giving back.
Just as much as we cared about him and thought he was a special person, he thought this place was truly special and something that could truly leave a mark across society.
He always had a twinkle in his eye. He was always very much an optimist. He could tell you difficult things that he thought you needed to hear. It wasn't that he was going to sugarcoat things, but he did it in a way that was mentoring and to help you get better.
You took him seriously because you knew it was not an ego thing, but rather he truly believed that was to the benefit of everyone involved.
He wasn't there for himself, he wasn't there for his name, he wasn't there for anything else other than just to truly make the place that he was in at that moment better.
So he was the kind of guy who made people around him do better, perform at a higher level, which is really, if you think about it, the definition of a leader. And by being close to that kind of person, you cannot help but get something from him. I'm going to miss him so much.
All the individuals that Carlos touched himself personally, all the students, all the faculty, all the administrators, each one of us would have been diminished in some way had we not known Carlos.
It's definitely a different world without Carlos here, but it's one that we can only hope that we continue to recognize him and honor his legacy that he so deeply established here for many decades.